Hello, good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is J. Ehizefa Okale. You're welcome to the program Eyes on Corruption, a program that comes to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And we are reaching you from multiple social media platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course, our website, gcsdn.org. And today's topic is flooding in Nigeria. Citizens are devastated. Government is out of sight. Just sit back and listen to this jingle before we come back. We'll hear back.
Eyes on Corruption, Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN presents Eyes on Corruption, a weekly x-ray of social and political issues. Eyes on Corruption, an expose on issues that bother on corruption-related practices in Nigeria. Eyes on Corruption, informative, educative, and enlightening. Eyes on Corruption, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Join us on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and our website, gcsdn.org. Host, J. Ehizefua Ohali.
You're welcome back. My name is J. Ehizefa Okale, and the program is Eyes on Corruption. And today's topic is Nigeria is flooded. Nigeria is actually experiencing the worst flooding ever in the history of the nation. Facts are available that the forecast was given way back earlier in the year, sometime in January and February 2022, that something of this magnitude is going to happen in the country. And that information was passed on from the meteorological authorities that are in charge of weather forecast. And this warning was passed down to federal, state, and local governments. For your information, Nigeria has 36 states, including with the federal capital making 37 entities and 774 local government areas. So this information was passed on to federal, state, and local government authorities over 8 months ago. And surprisingly, nothing was done to, as a proactive measure, to prevent this from happening, or at least to ameliorate, the damage that this is possibly going to give to the society. But surprisingly, it is really very saddening to note that this magnitude of flooding has occurred. Over 600 people have died as a result of this flooding, and hundreds of thousands of families displaced from their abode. And that is the worst thing that can happen to humanity. Watching what you have labored for just getting eroded by flood or getting damaged by flood in a situation that is even preventable, with enough warning signs in place, with enough information given at the appropriate time, long enough for people to be able to prepare for this calamity that has befallen them. The government and the state, federal, and the local must have themselves to blame for these damages that have occurred in the lives of these people. People's means of livelihood has been eroded. People's homes, shelter has been destroyed. People's life savings in forms of material, home appliances, and necessities of life that are needed in a home are washed away or destroyed by the flood that has resulted from the in, ineptitude of the government of the day. To this end, a lot of people are still missing as of today because the flood swept some away, and some, in an attempt to escape, got drowned and were washed away. So it is a very terrible situation that the international community are soliciting for help to save the lives, at least to help the victims of this catastrophe that was actually avoidable. So this is what we'll be looking at today, and it is saddening and despicable to note that enough warning signs were given ahead of time and nothing has been done to ameliorate the impact of this catastrophic incident that has happened in the lives of our citizens. It portends great danger when the political class pay lip service to their manifestos when they get to power. It is also very, very disheartening to note that politicians come in all shades and campaign and sugarcoat their tongues to talk and promise all kinds of things only to not do anything when it gets to power. This is actually very sad to note, and we must, as a matter of urgency, begin to rethink as to the kind of leadership we deserve and the kind of leadership we actually put in place. This is very important, so much so that now that the election is warming up for next year, Nigerians must brace up to the challenges and wear their thinking cap to look at issues critically, look at contestants in the various political parties that are bringing themselves forward, and begin to analyze their situations, their profiles, their pedigree, and their character, their competence, their skill level, and their expertise in the various ways. This is the only way we can right the wrongs that have been perpetrated in our nation since independence. Politicians come to power with all the powers they assume only to be there without impacting positively on the lives and livelihood of the masses. This is not acceptable. Nigerians must begin to think and know who should be given the authority to lead them, or whose under whose watch they want to be at any point in time. It might interest you to know that the level of damage to the society environmentally can never be quantified. I am going to show some clips of scenes from the floods that has ravaged about 33 states out of 36 states of the nation. That is a catastrophe, and I'm surprised the government has not declared state of emergency in all these states where these events, where these situations are happening, and citizens are daily wailing and waiting for help, waiting for assistance. But it is sad enough that the needed help is not coming from the right sources. The only help citizens are getting are neighbors, concerned citizens who are doing what as little as they can to at least lend a helping hand in one form or the other. I'm going to share a screen and you'll see the level of damage. Some communities have been totally eroded because of the level of damage the flood has caused. Some others have actually recorded multiple deaths in this very period. And it is sad to note that this is what is happening. Please watch as I share this screen with you. Surprisingly, it's not coming up, but anyway, we'll come back to that later on. And in the interim, let me just take a message from comments from the comment section, and it says nothing concerns them. The government, nothing concerns them. The government does not show concern to the plight of the citizens, and that is why we're here. That is why we are lending our voice to this situation so that the government will step up and actually declare a state of emergency to tackle this very serious problem. If the international community can be concerned about what is happening in Nigeria, I see no reason why the government of the day will not, as a matter of urgency, step forward to do this. In the first case, if the government was proactive enough after the warning signs and forecasts were given way back about 8 months back, I do not think the level of damage would have been this enormous. The lack of preparedness on the part of the government and its agencies that are responsible for emergency situations like this is appalling. The same way the government paid no attention to the warning signs from the intelligence given by the Western world earlier concerning terrorism and all kinds of banditry in the nation, that Nigeria did not pay proactive attention to such, and for that reason, the nation was plunged into a very terrible situation. And till date, we are still reeling in that same problem. I do not know what is going to happen in this case, but I am seriously hoping that the government of the day, and in collaboration with the concerned citizens and support from the international community, will see to the plight of these victims of the flood that has ravaged 33 states out of the 36 states of the nation. And the various emergency response agencies that are supposed to champion this cause and come to the aid of the victims ought to have been proactive enough to do what they are created to do in times of emergency situations like this. In the Western climate, like in the Western world, in some countries in the North, in North America, for example, there is snow during the winter, and when the winter gradually goes away, there is flooding from the melting of snow. This, as a matter of fact, will raise the water level, and flooding in some areas will be noticed. But these countries plan ahead of time and put some measures to check or at least to ameliorate the suffering that people will get from these circumstances. But in Nigeria and in most part of Africa, the government don't act proactively to checkmate situations, but rather they wait until the problem comes before they begin to find solutions. And that is one of the problems that is bedeviling our country, Nigeria. You know of an imminent problem coming in the future. Instead of the people or the authorities concerned to strategize and plan way ahead of that so as to minimize, the negative outcomes that may result, they find themselves paying no attention to such warning signs and wait until the problem starts creeping in and even doing the major havoc until they will want to now begin to act. But that is too late, and that is what we want to discourage on the part of citizens and the government. Please, it is better to be proactive than to be reactive, you know, and that is the message. So, fellow Nigerians, let us lend our voices to this clarion call for assistance for the victims of this flood disaster. It is catastrophic, ravaging 33 states of the nation, and we must not pay or close our eyes to these happenings. It is very terrible. Let us not be seen as people who do not care about the sufferings of the others. We must, as a matter of fact, begin to act proactively so as to checkmate these excesses, these situations that are bedeviling the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, J. Hizefa Okale, for the program Eyes on Corruption, and today's topic is concerning the flooding in Nigeria and government's lack of solution to them. And the most and worst is the fact that the government was warned about 8 months back about this situation that is imminent and paid no attention to it. And that is very, very disheartening. Nigeria must not experience this again. Nigeria must not expect to elect leaders that cannot cater for their needs. For the primary purpose of governance is to provide security of lives and properties. And where lives and properties are being wasted, ignored, or not attended to in the manner they should, then it portends great danger and evil for the nation. Please, ladies and gentlemen, lend your voice to the clarion call for help to these victims so that they can begin to live a new lease of life. Eyes of corruption, that is the program. The government insensitive to the plight of the people, government's lack of proactive initiatives to tackle problems is bedeviling our country, and we must rise to the occasion and elect people with competence, with character, people that can be trusted. Those are the caliber of people that we should be electing. We must jettison the idea of using ethnic sentiment to vote. We must jettison the idea of using religious sentiments to vote. We must now begin to embrace the idea of who is the best amongst these, who can do the job, who can we trust. And these are what we need to be focusing on when it comes to electing leaders in various tiers of government. Even electing people that legislate for the nation, we must look for people who are not of questionable character, people who can be trusted. As the election draws near for 2023, we must all begin to address issues and not primordial sentiments that do not augur well for anybody. We must be honest in our judgment. We must be very sincere in our thought process to determine who is eligible for the position that are available. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot continue to wallow in darkness. We cannot continue to wallow in poverty in the midst of plenty. We cannot continue to patronize those that have held us spellbound over the past decades since independence. We must rise up and brace up to the challenge that this is a fight for life and death. That is the survival of the nation, Nigeria. Nigeria needs to be rescued from the hands of political criminals and thugs that are parading themselves as leaders. They do not deserve our respect because they have not earned it. Respect is supposed to be earned. People say I'm loyal for life for criminals, for thugs. That must stop. We must begin to think like normal human beings, people thinking with their brains, people thinking with their cognitive abilities intact, not people who are cowed to do whatever they are not supposed to do, people who are cowed to do what is not right, people who are cajoled to do the deeds of the criminals in power. We must stop this, and Nigeria must be better for us all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your program Eyes on Corruption, and today's topic is flooding in Nigeria. Citizens are devastated. Government is out of sight. What is the way forward? Let us begin to call on every local government authority representatives, every state government representative, every federal government representative, both in the legislatures and in the judiciary and in the executives. We must begin to call them out to do the talk and walk the talk. This is no time, there is no time for passivity. Nigeria belongs to us all, and we must brace up for the challenges that are to come. Nigeria must be rescued from the hands of thugs and political criminals parading themselves all over the place with our commonwealth, with taxpayers' money. They are lording it over us as if we are their servants. Rather than being the servants of the people, they are being they are making the people to serve them, and that is not. So please, ladies and gentlemen, get your voters card. Go and get your voters card.
Nigeria youth are not the one again. Oh, 2023 not far from now. You when they get mind to the team ballot box or they give you money to team ballot box, any ballot box where you thief for this time, now another suffer for another 4 years to 8 years. Oh, that be 210. Get sense, oh, Nigeria youth. Get sense. 1,000 you don't set the generation of your children. Me and say Yagbesha not the one again. Oh. Go get your PVC. Nigeria youth, get sense. Allah God moves you.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. And I leave you with this one also.
Please share this video. Share this video. A plantain now, don't 1.5 seed of plantains now 1.5. Share this video. Make United Nations here. You say waiting. And they go Ghana right about now. Yes, and Nigeria want to relocate to Ghana. I want to go secure one land there first. Share this video. United Nations come to our rescue. 5 seed of plantain is now 1.5. Pure water is now 20 naira. Egg now, you know the feel buy again because the fowl, UCS operation they burn the egg. Share this video.
All right, thank you very much. The program is Eyes on Corruption. The topic is flooding in Nigeria. Citizens are devastated. Government is out of sight. What is the way forward? Now, fellow, let us go to the comment section. Prince. Oh, Prince. Greetings, my dear brother. Great service to your fatherland. Thank you, Prince. We love you. Let's all hands be on deck to change the status quo and the narrative in Nigeria so that we have a good government in place at all times, a government that is responsible, government that is answerable to the people, and government that is responsible to the people. Thank you. Timile Raji. Hello, my people. Kindly help me with any amount. I don't have anything to eat. This may be one of the victims of the disaster. You never can know. And he's saying, hello, my people, please can you help me with any amount? I don't have anything to eat and I want to buy food stuff. I'm doing this out of frustration. Please help me. God bless you. The bank account is there. This could be one of the victims of the flood disaster. You never can know. Please, if you are touched, please lend a helping hand. It's not too hard to lend a helping hand. Thank you, Timaine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the program Eyes on Corruption, and it's a 30-minute program that comes to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And today's topic is flooding in Nigeria. So share this video, raise your comments, suggestions on the comments section, and we will get back to you. We are reaching you live from multiple social media platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course, our website, gcsdn.org. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the program for today. Until I come your way again, same time next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Have a good day, and let's join our hands to build a nation where no man is oppressed, where no tribe and tongue may differ. We stand in brotherhood, and that is the kind of nation we want, where no ethnicity or religious bigotry is an issue. Thank you. Until I come your way again, stay blessed. Peace out.